begin our debate today with a speech by the Prime Minister.
Good afternoon, honorable ladies and gentlemen. It was long ago when people understood that they can achieve their goals by committing terrors and terrifying other people. But only now, with the development of mass media and modern technologies, it became an actual problem. Not only new means of transport and new weapons help them, but also mass media contributes a lot. Through it, they can easily achieve the ears and eyes of every person in the world, making him or her afraid and therefore easier to manipulate to fulfill their demands. That's why today, this House would like to ban the broadcast of recordings by terrorists. In this game, we'll define terrorists as people or organizations practicing violence against civilians to achieve political or ideological objectives by creating fear. Recordings are not only recordings of terrorist speeches, but also recordings of the terroristic acts they commit. By broadcasting, we mean using the recordings by terrorists on radio and television. The team line of our team is providing welfare and security to the society. In order to convince you in the necessity of banning of the broadcast of recordings by terrorists, I'll use three arguments that will show you the clear connection between the absence of recordings by terrorists on radio and television and providing safety and welfare to the society. The first argument is decreasing the fear of the civilians. The second is a decrease of the number of terroristic acts. And the third is a general decrease of violence on TV and radio. And now, I'd like to speak about each of these arguments in a more detailed way. The first argument is a decrease of the fear of the civilians. According to American journalist Barbara Mickelson, the purpose of terrorism is to install fear in the population. As I have already told you, due to the fact that mass media is very widespread nowadays, it's probably the most efficient instrument of influencing the minds of people. Hearing terrorist speeches on radio, watching terroristic acts on TV makes people afraid of it. Therefore, if we ban the broadcast of terrorist recordings on radio and TV, we significantly decrease the fear of the population and, due to the improvement of their psychological conditions, provide the welfare and safety to the society. The second argument is a decrease of the number of terroristic acts. According to Richard Nakos, one of the scholars who studied this issue most of all, she says that access to the media brings terrorists closer to a democratic society's decision-making process, which greatly increases the chances that this complex network of interactions will result in a political decision that favors the interests of their group. It means that depriving terrorists of access to media will prevent them from influencing decision-making, and as a result, it won't be useful for them to commit terroristic acts, as they won't be shown to people. Decreasing of the number of terroristic acts will definitely lead to establishing safety and therefore welfare in society. The third argument is decrease of the amount of violence on TV and radio. Recent studies have shown that the amount of violence on TV and radio in the USA is steadily increasing. The same situation happens today in many countries of the world. A great percentage of violence constitutes the broadcasting of terroristic acts. So if we ban these broadcastings, the amount of violence on TV and radio will also decrease. Keeping in mind the fact that mass media influences greatly people's mentality, we can make conclusion that the less violence there will be on the screens, the less violence there will be in our lives. Minimalizing the violence in our lives will protect the society and provide welfare for it. As you see, banning the broadcast of terrorist recordings will significantly decrease the fear of population, decrease the number of terroristic acts, and decrease the amount of violence on TV, on radio, and in our lives. All these benefits contribute to every government, and particularly our team's main aim, providing welfare and safety for the society. That's why we beg you to report, and thank you for your attention, honorable ladies and gentlemen.